Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. As we all know, modern people's demand for money is almost limitless, and as a result, counterfeit money is a common phenomenon. Fake currency can frequently be found in the market. So, how did things work in ancient times? In ancient China, silver notes were just pieces of paper. But why didn't anyone dare to counterfeit them? In fact, if we take a close look at the ancient Chinese silver notes, especially the text on them, we can understand why counterfeiting money was not a common occurrence in ancient times. According to historical records, during the Northern Song dynasty, a new form of currency emerged in China, paper money known as jiaozi, which we refer to today as silver notes. The silver notes of the Northern Song were the earliest in both China and the world. The Yuan dynasty predominantly used silver notes, and the early Ming dynasty continued this practice. During the reign of the Ming Emperor Hongwu, the Ming Baoqiao, Great Ming treasure bills, were issued. These silver notes were made from mulberry bark paper and measured 1 foot in length and 6 inches in width, making them the largest silver notes in Chinese history. During the early Qing dynasty, silver notes were not printed. Only when the country faced economic difficulties did it begin issuing hubu silver notes, abbreviated as official notes. Later, the Qing Baoqiao, Great Qing treasure notes, were issued, referred to as Baoqiao. Today, the concept of silver notes has expanded, and it generally refers to bank drafts or bankers' acceptances. According to certain historians, the emergence of silver notes is closely related to the geographical environment of the Sichuan region in China. Due to the rugged terrain and inconvenient transportation in Sichuan, merchants traveling for business often needed to carry large amounts of currency. However, carrying large sums of cash was both troublesome and unsafe. To solve this problem, merchants invented the silver note, a type of certificate used for payments and circulation. However, the newly introduced silver notes could not be directly circulated in the market. They could only serve as a transaction certificate between merchants and money houses. Merchants would bring the silver notes to designated money houses and exchange them for gold, silver, copper coins, or other forms of currency. In simple terms, the silver notes at that time were similar to today's checks, acting as a certificate for deposits and withdrawals, but not as direct currency. Initially, silver notes circulated only among merchants and were not widely used. They were simply an agreement among merchants, much like deposit certificates in folk society. It wasn't until the reign of Emperor Qianlong of the Song dynasty that he noticed the advantages of silver notes, such as their portability, ease of storage, and large denominations. Therefore, he decided to promote the use of silver notes, believing that they could help manage the national treasury and stimulate economic development. The imperial court began to establish a silver note system and even sent officials to supervise the production of silver notes to ensure their quality and security. After receiving the court's approval, these silver notes were called official jiaozi and became the official circulating currency. As the commodity economy developed, the use of silver notes increased among the people and gradually began to have the characteristics of credit money. As a result, silver notes started to circulate more widely and became a true symbol of currency. However, the widespread use of silver notes also brought some problems. Some money houses mismanaged their operations, and even some merchants refused to redeem silver notes for various reasons. This situation could lead to disputes and lawsuits among merchants, damaging the trust in silver notes. To address these issues, the imperial court decided to strengthen the management of silver notes. Given that silver notes had large denominations and were in widespread circulation, the court recognized that preventing counterfeiting was an urgent matter. As a result, the court invested a great deal of effort in improving anti-counterfeiting technologies for silver notes to ensure their security and credibility. We can examine the uniqueness of ancient silver notes from the following aspects. First, the material of the paper. The paper used for silver notes varied across different dynasties. For example, during the Northern Song dynasty, silver notes were printed on a special type of paper called cypress bark paper, also known as chuan paper. This paper was of very high quality, smooth and durable, making it ideal for printing silver notes. It was highly resistant to wear and tear, ensuring its reliability in everyday use. It's important to note that this paper was not something ordinary people could easily access. It was specifically designed for the creation of silver notes. Because of this, the high quality and unique characteristics of the paper made counterfeiting very difficult. This is one reason why silver note counterfeiting was relatively rare in ancient times. Second, the special printing, patterns, and seals on the silver notes. In addition to the paper, the printing methods, pattern designs, and seals on silver notes were also highly intricate. The patterns on ancient silver notes typically included natural elements such as flowers, birds, trees, grass, and buildings. These designs were not only aesthetically pleasing but also played an important role in anti-counterfeiting. What's more, different money shops issued silver notes with unique patterns and designs, making each note distinct. Furthermore, the patterns and designs were crafted by skilled artisans using multicolor printing techniques. This printing method made counterfeiting more difficult, and some patterns even concealed special marks to help authenticate the notes. These techniques added complexity to the production of silver notes, increasing the difficulty of counterfeiting. Additionally, ancient silver notes were not static. To prevent counterfeiting, the patterns and designs on the notes were periodically updated. Even if someone mastered the replication of a certain design, the frequent updates made it impossible for counterfeiters to use the same method for long periods. This ongoing update system effectively maintained the security and credibility of the silver notes. Third, the unique small characters on the silver notes. Ancient silver notes often contained a unique line of small characters, typically located at the bottom of the note. Upon closer inspection, we can see that these characters are written in small seal script, a calligraphic style. These characters were one of the anti-counterfeiting measures used on ancient silver notes and played a very important role. This line of small characters is not just ordinary text but includes the phrase, "forgers beheaded." This phrase clearly indicated that anyone caught counterfeiting silver notes would face severe punishment. These characters were extremely small and densely arranged, making them difficult to replicate. Even if someone could manage to replicate them, it would be almost impossible to match the fine detail of the authentic note. The role of this line of small characters is similar to today's signatures or seals on banknotes. It served as a guarantee of the authenticity and legality of the silver notes. It represented official credit and legal protection behind the notes. These small characters were usually painstakingly engraved by master engravers on woodblocks, which were then printed onto the notes, making the engraving process highly demanding. Moreover, these engravers were mostly concentrated in the imperial court, working exclusively for the government, and were not available to make notes for the common people. Even if some skilled craftsmen existed in the civilian sector, they had almost no chance to handle such tasks, as ordinary people not only lacked the expertise to perform such intricate engravings but were also mostly illiterate and incapable of making such counterfeit notes. Thus, these small characters were virtually impossible to replicate, serving as an important safeguard against counterfeiting. Fourth, strict laws. In addition to technical anti-counterfeiting measures, ancient China also had very strict legal punishments for the act of counterfeiting silver notes. The legal penalties for counterfeiting silver notes varied across different dynasties, but they were always severe. For example, during the Northern Song dynasty, anyone caught manufacturing counterfeit silver notes would be exiled for 4 years. Exile was a harsh punishment, meaning the counterfeiter would be forced to leave their hometown and live a difficult, wandering life. By the time of the Southern Song dynasty, the penalties became even more severe. The law clearly stipulated that anyone caught making counterfeit silver notes would be executed on the spot. This extreme punishment showed the government's zero-tolerance attitude toward counterfeiting silver notes. By the Ming dynasty, punishments became even harsher. The law stated that anyone caught counterfeiting paper currency would be immediately executed, and anyone who reported counterfeit silver notes would be rewarded. Even more terrifying was the punishment for the counterfeiter's entire family. Men, women, and children would all be punished, with the entire family being subjected to the eradication of 9 generations. This extremely harsh punishment system emphasized the government's serious focus on the silver note system and served as a powerful deterrent to potential counterfeiters. According to relevant historians, the wisdom of ancient Chinese people in managing silver notes was truly remarkable. As one of the earliest civilizations to use paper currency in the world, this not only facilitated economic circulation but also greatly improved the efficiency of financial management. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.